Hi, this is James Mullaney, and I have another exclusive for you, a scoop. Um, there was never a fall from grace. It never happened. It never happened in the first place. There was never any fall. There was no rebellion of angels. There was no fall from grace. The angels never rebelled. That whole thing was a story. It was a made-up story. It never happened. Because there was nowhere to fall from, and there was nowhere to fall to. There was never anything bad that happened. It was made up. That's a lie and a story. A mistake at best. Why did somebody make that up? Why did they make that up? Why would they do that? Well, if you think about somebody has a product that they want to sell you, right? Like an advertising agency, right? They get a contract. They got to sell you a product, right? So what they have to do is they have to convince you that you need the product, that there's a need, you have a need for this product, but you don't really. So they start an advertising campaign to make you believe you lack something, you're wanting, you are in need, you're sick, you're going to die unless you buy our product. You will suffer unless you buy our product. And then people were content at first, but then they thought, oh, maybe they're right. They seem pretty convincing, those salesmen on TV. Maybe they're right. Maybe I really do need their product. Maybe I was suffering and unhappy and I didn't even know, because they knew, they're smarter than me, and they perceived what I didn't perceive, that I had this need for their product. So you know what, I'm going to buy their product and I'm going to feel better. And then you go and spend your money and you buy their product, and it saves you from your bad feelings, right? But you never had the bad feelings in the first place. They convinced you of it. They convinced you of your lack to sell you the product, to sell you a bill of goods. It's the same thing with every religion, every savior, including Jesus. The whole thing was made up. We never needed a savior in the first place. There was nothing to be saved from. There's no hell. There was no hell. It never existed. It was perfect from the beginning, and it is now and always will be. There was no such thing as a fall. There were no angels rebelling, Lucifer and angels. That was a nonsense story. It never happened. It couldn't have happened. Why would perfection fall? It could never have happened. Absolute perfection can't fall. It can't be. Nothing can go wrong. And that's where we are now. We are there. We always have been. See, but we were mistakenly believing that we were sick and fallen and sinful and all this kind of stuff. And they sold us a bill of goods. Every religion that ever existed sold us a bill of goods, saying, you need this, you need this. And people believed them. Well, the exclusive is, the scoop is, we never needed it. We were never sick in our spirits. We never needed those cures, those saviors and all that. There was no need. There never was. So why was there suffering? Because we believed the salesman that tried to sell us that we had the need. That's all it was. It was a sales campaign. It was a giant ad. Every religion is selling us stuff that we don't need. We never did. I mean, look outside and it's a nice day. That's all you need to know. That's all. You can look, hey, it's a nice day. That's all. I don't need a religion. I don't need a savior. It's a nice day out. I don't need any saviors. It's a nice day today. You know what I mean? It's that easy. It's that simple. So don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's bullshit. And they use it to control everybody, and inflict suffering. The suffering comes when you start believing in the lie, the big lie. There was never a fall. There was never anything like that. It never happened. So, I mean, it's the religion that's making us sick. The cure is making us sick. It's like the pharmaceutical industry, same thing, right? There's a billion. You know what's the biggest driver of GDP in America? It's the mental health services industry and pharmaceuticals, in cooperation with the APA, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Psychological Association. They're in cahoots together. Well, they convince you that you have this illness, that illness, and then they're going to sell you all these drugs that make you worse. The drugs give you the sickness in the first place. It wasn't yours. You believed that you had the drug, the illness, and then they're going to sell you the cure that made you 10 times worse. Religion is a cure that makes you 10 times worse than you were to begin with. Now, when I was 6 years old and I went to St. Sebastian's School in the 2nd grade, they told me, oh, you're a sinner, you have to do all this, believe in this man that got nailed to a cross. And hey, wait up, I'm 6 years old, I don't have any sins. What are you trying to tell me I'm a sinner for? I'm 6 years old, I never did anything bad. And I'm sorry about that guy that nailed to a cross, but that has nothing to do with me. I didn't do it, and it has nothing to do with me. Don't try to guilt me and all that kind of stuff. It's guilt about this man on the cross that, hey, I'm sorry, but it wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me. I don't want any part of your story. Keep it to yourself. I'm 6 years old. I was 6. You don't indoctrinate me with that garbage. Oh my goodness. But that's when the pathologies start then, when you're indoctrinated into believing that. Especially the sickness about a man being nailed to a cross, and it's held in front of the classroom, in front of the children, every single day of their lives. This half-naked man nailed to a cross, in the most excruciating moment of pain, right? And that's suspended at that moment. How cruel of them to hold them at that moment. I mean, at that moment, suspended at the ultimate moment, and to put that up there in front of children and indoctrinate them. How horrible. What effect does that have on people's unconscious? What do you think that has? What kind of effect does that have on children's unconscious minds? To be subjected to that every single day of their lives. This man in torture, the most horrible torture, held at that moment of extreme torture, and we have to sit there and look at that for 8 hours, however, 6 hours a day. Are you kidding me? Disgusting. How gross. How vile to do that to children. Oh my God. So, that's what I'm saying. The cure is worse than the disease. A 6-year-old doesn't need to be cured from his innocence by staring at that all day long. What good does that do? It makes you sicker. Wait, you were never sick in the first place. That made you sick. Sitting in that room with that man nailed to a cross. How horrible. That made you sick in the first place. You never needed that. What were they saving me from? My innocence? My joy? My spontaneity? Is that what they needed to, that's what I needed to be saved from? By staring at a man viciously nailed to a cross? No way. See, it takes a long time to undo the brainwashing and the programming. And it takes a long time. It's sick. It's a very sick thing. I mean, I'm going to go on and on about this in the future. I'm going to go on and on about this. A man nailed to a cross. How does that, hey, I'm sorry for him, but look, that doesn't do anything. So, I mean, that's just one example of this, Who needs it? Keep it, Anyhow. So it's a nice day. Enjoy the day. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel fearful, You don't need the religion. It's bullshit. You're better off without it, Okay, take care.